Hi there. Thank you for joining us. I am Chidi Akunna.
And I am Victor Akunna.
All right. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you're notified when we drop our content. I would like to use this opportunity to say thank you to every returning subscriber.
Thank you.
Thank you for your engagement. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for all the times you contact us. We appreciate you. Thank you. At Foundation for Family Affairs, our mission is to connect hearts and raise healthy families. And today we'll be talking about what borders on raising healthy families. We'll be talking about managing work-life balance as a single parent. Work-life balance as a single parent. I know right now they'll tell you it's impossible to put work and life on balance, okay, to achieve equilibrium, 50-50. It's just impossible. And so you hear terms like work-life harmony, work-life rhythm, right? We understand that and we appreciate it because there are times where you must prioritize life, okay? And there are times where work might be so demanding, you need to run, you need to give it some attention, okay? But as a single parent who has these children, how do you harmonize this so nothing suffers?
Because traditionally, as a single parent, you are playing the role of two individuals.
That's true.
All right. Sometimes you're playing the role of a dad, you're playing the role of a mom, all at once. At the same time, you have family commitments, you have work commitments. All right. And you have to also make progress. You have to pay your bills. So there are many things that are thrown at you, and you're expected to just carry on. So we thought about it. What kind of support can we give the single parent out there? Who are really crushing it, and some of them are really overwhelmed. What are the tools? What are the strategies? What can we do? So we decided to do this video to support a lot of single parents out there who are going through this journey alone, who sometimes feel lonely, who sometimes have to cry in the bedroom, and then the next morning they have to clean their faces and look strong, look tough for their children. We want to say that we see you. We see the work that you do. We see the effort that you make. All right. So we hope that this content, you find it useful to pick one or two strategies that will really help you to be able to create that work-life rhythm. Work-life, not necessarily work-life balance, because it's really difficult to create a work-life balance, but create a work-life rhythm in the process without you losing yourself or without your children feeling disconnected from you. So that's part of what we want to share today.
Okay, so before we share the points, I think someone needs to hear this. Maybe you just need to let go of the guilt and just seek to maximize the moment, right? Whatever, because different things throw people into this situation. Some could be death, the loss of a loved one. Some could be divorce. Some could be abuse.
Some could be a spouse that is working far away from home. All right, maybe a soldier that has been deployed. There are different things that throw people into this situation.
All right, so whatever the case, for someone there who probably would be saying, this is not how I planned my life, and you're feeling guilty that, I brought these children and the other parent is not here to support, to also give them what they need from the other parents, because dad and mom are just as important. Okay, you need to let go of that guilt, and then let's look at the solutions. What can you do?
So why do you need to let go of that feeling? One of the reasons is that it's not a resourceful state. All right. You need to be able to do what you've never done. You need to be able to become who you've never been. All right. You need to make sure that you avoid any form of thoughts like, beating yourself up, like she said, blaming yourself, wishing the situation was different, trying to anticipate something or trying to create something that you can't change, or trying to change something you can't change. All right. Accept the situation and see what can I make of this. Ask resourceful questions. All right. What can I do differently? What is my goal? How do I want these children to turn out? What kind of career do I want to pursue going forward? What do I have at my disposal? These kind of questions will help you pull up the resources you have, because you need to be in a resourceful state, not in a disempowering state. You need to be in a resourceful and empowering state, not in a disempowering state. All right. If you are in a disempowering state, you will not be able to navigate this new reality.
That's true.
You will not be able, even if the opportunities are presented to you, you will not have the wherewithal, the mental stability, the emotional strength to push through. All right. So asking the right questions will help you focus your energy, focus your perspective into what you have going for you. And that's the first place to start with, the right mental attitude.
Yes. Okay. So the first point we have for you is just very critical. You need to create time for yourself. Create time for you. You are the most important person in this equation now, if we're to look at it.
Absolutely.
You are the pillar on which everything rests. Okay? The children are looking up to you. Okay? They need you for everything right now. Okay? If you break down, then their lives would also be in shambles.
Absolutely.
So you need to be thinking about that.
Absolutely.
So in that case, yes, the truth is, even as a parent who is being supported by my dear husband, I know just how demanding parenting is. So I can just imagine when one person has to put up with all you have to do, okay? But you must find time to rest. You must find me time, okay, where you de-stress, where you let out. You were saying something about the state of your mind. You need to get to that point where it's when you take out that time, you can unpack the negative emotions that are in there, because you must keep a healthy mind, a healthy state. And how do you do that? Sometimes you may just need to have that friend, that buddy you call up on phone, okay, to talk. Some people will tell you talking is therapeutic for them. So when they feel stressed, overwhelmed, okay, they find time to recharge, and then they can call on someone to just talk, and see how you can get out the stress.
Fantastic. It's also good for you to create that space within you where nobody else can get there. Nobody else can come into. That space that only you and God can spend time there. It's a space, all right? Another good reason why me time is good for you, it gives you an opportunity to reflect and see what you're doing, what you can do better. Yes. Because sometimes in the vicissitude of life, the busyness of life, you're just you're just hoping that one ball will not drop. You're just moving from one place to the other, You're not really having an opportunity to have a strategic perspective on what you're doing. To know if, my child is doing this sport, is doing that sport, but is that really strategic to your child's interests? All right, are you doing it because that's what other parents are doing in your child's school? Are you having an opportunity to really think, what are my child's priority? What are my child's interests? What are their natural inclination and gifting? And so what sport will help him or her harness those potentials? You cannot do this kind of a radical change unless you step back and reflect and really see what is working, what is not working, what can you improve. Remember the 80-20 principle. 80% of the results you're going to get as a single parent will be engineered or will be triggered by 20% of your effort. So where is that 20%? Where do you need to focus most of your energy? Because the thing about single parent is that 24 hours is never enough. 24 hours is never enough. Being a mom, being a dad, it's a full-time job.
That's true.
All right. Yeah. You now the COVID-19 last year kind of shifted a lot of things. What did you do? You're on Zoom. You are feeding the baby. You are changing the diaper. You are having to manage many things. Some people are beginning to go back to work now. All right, but yet you still kind of have where you have to. So the blurry lines between work and home is so blurry today, more than ever before. All right, so spend time to pull your energy back, all right, to find your place of strength, to now come forward, all right. So it's very important to do that over and over again, because to decluster your thinking, because once you lose in your mind, you're going to lose in the physical space. You must get to that point where you draw back and say, you know what, good girl, I'm doing well in this, and this. Hey, man, I'm doing well in this, and this. Don't be too hard on yourself. Draw back and prioritize, because if your energy is not in the right place, if you don't feel nurtured, you can't give what you don't have.
That's true.
Your children will see that you are breaking up, all right? They can see that look of fear, of anxiety in you, because you are just wiped out, all right? So it's good for you to draw back, call for support, maybe for someone to babysit, and just have a good sleep, very, very important for you to be able to do that, to have your me time. All right.
Okay. Yeah. So I think you kind of went into the second point we have, which is you need to have a support system.
Very important.
put a system in place.
Yes.
Okay. Some would say, oh, the one question you might want to explore is, if anything goes wrong, who can you hand your children over to? Right? Then having a support system is just that unit. It's people in your community, your place of worship, any parenting group you belong to, who can also support you in getting the things you don't have, the things you cannot put in that child. Okay, an example would be, if you are female, okay, there are families you might look at and say, oh, these are the kind of family I would want to model. Okay, I would want my children to look at this man as a father figure. Okay, and in that case, you have a talk with them. So from time to time, you ensure that they have that contact. So your children are not missing out on what they could have in the parent of the opposite sex, if you get what I mean.
Yes. It's very important for you to not allow your own circumstance to be the narrative that your children have around family. All right. It might be based on your own mistake. It might be based on something not a fault of your own that you find yourself in this situation. It doesn't matter. All right. What matters is the interpretation you give it. What matters is what you do with what is happening. All right. So it's very important for you to create that kind of atmosphere where you can plant your children to see a semblance of an ideal family, a semblance of a healthy family, a semblance of where they can, go to and say, no, okay, mom may not have it all together, dad may not have it all together, but at least I feel in a certain way when I come to this atmosphere. I would want to have something like this, right? So let us not allow the failings of our personal lives to color the lives of our own children and put them in a disadvantaged position. All right. There are weaknesses that I have. I'm working hard not to ensure that those weaknesses don't color the life of my child, because he is a clean template. He's having to build and navigate his own life. So same thing I'm sharing with you. Don't allow your own personal circumstances to color, all right, or put your child in a disadvantaged position in the larger world, because we are raising an adult. We are not raising children, really. We are raising adults that will be able to function responsibly, contribute responsibly in the larger society, and that's what we want to see. So ability to be able to create a support group. Let go of this super working mom this super mom kind of thoughts. All right, that okay, you know what? Super mom meaning I want to do it all by myself. No. Be super mom that connect with other super moms. All right. So, for example, you might be someone that is working at a certain time, and you have somebody else who can maybe help you pick up your child in case you are running late, because there will be those days that you run late. Of course. There will be days that you're stuck in traffic. There will be days that you have to put in extra hours to hand in a proposal, because work must not stop because you're a single parent. That's true. All right. So you have to find support system, people you can call last minute. Sit down and say, what possibly can go wrong? There's a law called Murphy's Law. Everything that will go wrong will go wrong. Sit down and say, what can go wrong? Okay, this might go wrong here. That might go wrong here. Okay, if this goes wrong, what am I going to do? And begin to walk backwards and begin to strategically position yourself with the right neighbors, with the right church community, with the right colleague at work that can swap shift with you. Whatever you have to do to ensure that you got it going, girl. You got it going, guy. Very important for you to create a support system.
Yes, and the truth is that some of your friends might be willing to help, but they wouldn't want to just come in because they wouldn't want you to feel like they think you're incapacitated. Okay, so by all means, reach out to friends when you need them. Ask for that help when you think you need it, and you'll be amazed that there are people waiting to assist and support you.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay, so the next point we have for you today is you need to set boundaries. You can't achieve what we're talking about if you don't set boundaries. Okay, so let work time be work time. Okay, let family time be family time. You don't have all the time to make that impact to truly influence your children the way you want. So when you have that time, you need to make the most of it. So you can't be doing that if you're having to work 24 hours, you're having to work without cutting out, without knowing when it's time to check out. Okay, you have to have that. Okay, and it's gonna lead to the next point. I don't want to get to the next point, but I'll let you react to it.
Creating we must point out here that it's more difficult today to create a what do you call it now, this ironclad wall between work and family. Very difficult. Why? Because we live in a time that is we're overwhelmed. It's overwhelming complexities. All right, with changes happening every second. All right, the next news you hear, then you're hearing the next one, you think you've heard the worst, then you hear the next one, you think you've heard the worst, you hear the next one. So everything is moving at record speed. All right. So what do you do in a situation like this, that you are existing in a world where your children are internet savvy, everybody is internet savvy, everyone is working? What do you do to create that kind of, so you must ensure that once you clock out for work, except there are some emergencies that pop up once in a while, ensure that when you're home, you are home. Because there's a way that the work can mess up with our mind, that while you are home, you are busy, you've not logged out from work. You are physically there, you are talking to your child, but you are thinking about ideas about that next proposal. You are thinking about that, if you're a lecturer, you are thinking about the work you need to do. You are thinking about the marking, you are thinking about that student appointment. You have many things just going up at the back of your mind. All right, so you are present, but you're not present.
That's true.
All right, one of the biggest gifts you can give your child is the gift of your presence. Not just the present that you give to them, the gift of your emotional connection. The child, children are so emotionally smart. They know when daddy is not engaged. They know when mom is not engaged. They read your eyes. They read your facial expression. Children know the auntie that are nice. They know the uncles that are nice. They know. They just gravitate towards you. All right. So it's very important to know that our children pick our energy. All right. So they pick our energy. They know when we are not engaged. If you knew when you were not engaged, when you were much younger, how much more the children now that are in it, they are 4 or 5 times more intelligent now, because they are exposed to more information than we were when we were at their age. All right. So very important for you to know that when you are at home, you are emotionally connected. All right. So you make that deliberate effort. Though you might be burnt out, but have schedule. I like creating schedules. You know what? From this time to this time, it's my child. It doesn't matter what that phone is ringing. It doesn't matter who is calling. I'm spending this child with him. I'm spending with child with her. And nothing can block those times and create that routine. Once you create the routine, it helps the child, because children like, what do you call it now? Children like some structure. Thank you. All right. They know that this time until this time, it's daddy's time, it's mommy's time, nothing is getting into it. After a while, you guys will begin to create more opportunities to be able to find ways to connect.
Okay, so the next one just kind of flows from this, which would be that you need to arrange flexi time if possible.
Yes.
Okay, if you are employed, then you can talk with your employer. Okay, how about there are a lot of things out there now as to how to go around it. Someone will be wondering, what's flexi time? It's just you arranging what time you can work, what hours, around what hours. Okay, that is flexible for you, that works for you. Okay, so if say, because
and works for the company as well.
Works for the company as well, yes. So if say because you have to do your school run, you can't make it for 9 o'clock because you might be stuck in traffic or something. Then arranging flexi time might be you saying, "Oh, can I work at 9:30?" Okay, and then look for days that you think you can then stretch it to make up for the time you've lost.
Yes.
Okay, maybe drop the children in a club or with a support group, and then make up for the time. All right. If you're self-employed, this is just as important, because you are your own manager. So there's the tendency that you can go on and on and on. Like he was talking, thinking about that proposal. Oh, I need to meet with this client. Okay, but you must put those boundaries in place.
Yeah, very important. Very important for you to get support from your work people as well. Talk to that colleague, that nice colleague that can help you. Make that. If you work in shift, for example, to make that switch. All right, so that you can have a holiday around 10 time. All right. Talk to your boss. All right. It might be the time for you to begin to look for companies that whose policy and that culture supports single parents. Some cultures, organizational culture, do not support single parents. All right. They want to keep you there till 12 a.m. at night. All right. Because they just think we're paying you, so you have to be there. We own your life. All right. So you might be time where you begin to proactively look for work Not just looking at CV or placing your CV, interacting with different people. Where do you work? Oh, begin to unconsciously seek out information from people. You begin to know, all right?
Yes.
It might be good for you to begin to also work beyond your own work network and begin to interact with other people, because sometimes I found out that your close-knit group, they have some kind of support that they can give you. But people that are, not within your own close group, work group, sometimes they give you more relevant information that can help you get opportunities that will help you go ahead. So flexible time is so critical. So if you have to come in twice in a week, so the rest of the week you work from home, so that you can be able to create that balance, create that rhythm.
Yes.
Very important as well. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so the last point we have for you today is you must explore activities that bring you together as a family.
Yeah.
Okay, explore activities that bring you and the children together as a family. You touched on it a bit when you were talking about, having that moment with them. Okay, but when we talk about exploring activities, these activities that help you bond. Okay, it might be going for a walk together, or painting or something. Do activities, at some point just let your head down and be like a child with them. Let them feel you. Let them know that I can count on mom, I can count on dad. I know that I mean the world to them. Right? Yes, you must bond.
Very important. And whatever you do, make sure that you do activity that stretch your child. Because research has found out that sometimes single parents, they build really resilient children because they get them involved in the planning quite early. Unlike children that people do everything for them. All right, children who that there's no how I can do this. This child need to pull his weight. This child need to learn to feed themselves. So children like this, sometimes they build resilient faster than children who have all the support. All right, so something might be working for you without you knowing. Something that's supposed to be a negative thing can work in your favor. All right, all right. Plan ahead. All right, buy ticket ahead. Think ahead. How many school terms would they have? How many half terms do they have? Plan for that. Schedule activity. All right. Maybe that's when you book your holiday. All right, within those times, because once there is what do you call it now, half term, it will create its own challenges in terms of where are you going to take your child to. All right, so maybe that's when you have to schedule, plan, and book your holidays ahead of time. So you block out all those days. All right, so you can plan and say, what activity are we going to do? Look for activity that will stretch your child. Look for activity that will educate your child. Look for activity that your child will enjoy, because life is all about memories. It's about people. It's about places, about events. Be deliberate about filling these pockets up.
Yes. Okay, and we are rooting for you. We know you're doing a great job.
Yes.
Keep at it. We're seeing single parents who are doing great, and their children are turning out great. Okay, and don't forget, like if you are a female, it would say God is the husband of the widow.
Absolutely.
So if you are a man, God is right there with you. God is the greatest support you have.
Absolutely.
So you can count on Him.
Yes.
You can talk to Him. You can unburden with God, okay, and just let Him know where it hurts. But I mean, there's nothing. It's not a pity party. Okay, you're doing great. Your kids are your children are turning out well. So let's celebrate that. Yes.
Yeah, I would like to recommend 2 books that will really help you guys. One is called Gifted Hands, and the other one is called Gifted Hands. What's the other book? Think Big. Think Big. Both of them are written by a doctor called Dr. Ben Carson, where he talked about the story of being raised by a single mom, a single parent. All right, very important.
Okay.
Get that book and read. Yeah.
Great. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, Foundation for Family Affairs,
subscribe
and turn on the notification bell.
Yes.
So you're notified when we drop our content.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, and you doing that will help us push our messages. It's really, because the more subscribers we have, the more impact we're able to make, the more people we're able to reach, the more, so help us to get into your network so I will be able to share this message. All right. You might not be able to do your own YouTube video, but if anything we're saying resonates with you, share it with people that you think will really be able to, will need this information.
And if you know any single parent who needs this, please share with them.
That's it. That's how we do it.
Yes. That's how we roll. Until we come your way again, it's goodbye from us.
Bye.
Bye.